Hi, so my name is Nadia. I will be presenting our assignment with the start with the background project. This project is about the relocations of the bus stations at the Nilai to a new adjacent rail stations to form a railway triangle with the approval from the MPN planning permissions, which offer improved link between the bus and the rail services with the high quality of the pedestrian bridge. This Nilai commuter station with the Nilai bus station at the current locations shows that the services will not improve well, where we will improve it afterwards.
My name is Xiao Wei Yong. I'm going to talk about the steel roof truss. Steel roof truss is a triangular frame which is interconnected by the top screw and high strut and bottom screw. Top screw is in compression to put out at the heel and down at the piece, and the bottom screw is in tension to withstand outward thrust, and the member of tie and strut are to put under tension and compression but do not bend. It is to help the strut and tie to provide enough pressing for the roof truss. Steel roof truss is economy and accept the both tensile and compressive strength. And the construction of steel roof truss is more labor intensive and require connection device, for example, bolting and welding. The triangular frame can be a support to carry the bearing to fix the roof covering. The roof covering is to provide resistance to penetration of the elements such as rain, sunlight, and snow, and also to withstand any wind and snow load, and to supply enough natural daylight through the roof to the floor. Steel roof truss also is subject to the different loads such as dead load, live load, and wind load. Dead load is on the truss includes cell weight of truss, purlin, and truss, wind bracing, and roof covering. The live load is depend on the slope angle of truss top screw, and the wind will blow on the roof covering, then the roof covering will transfer to the truss, so the roof shape and wind direction and location of the building will decide the side of the wind load. We are using the pitch roof on the stop of bus station, pedestrian bridge, and the bus terminal. It's because it is good for rainwater to run off. The pitch roof has a gradient to let the rainwater fall down by gravity. Also, it is suitable for daylight spraying from roof light. The pitch roof has a high volume roof. If a long span of pitch roof will close the high roof volume. Nowadays, the long span can be decreased by a series of short span truss to make a long span of truss. The construction process. The steel roofers are using the connection bolting. It's because the connection bolting is not terminal the part of them can be easily disabled if one of them is sick, any damage, or the part have been faced the end of their service life. The members of steel truss are connected together with the bolt to gusset plate. The top and bottom core will be fabricated as a T-section profile, and after that the tie and strap will be fabricated as a lip-inward channel. The edge web of the lip-inward channel are brought with the gusset plate in the workshop, so if you set the time of construction truss, the gusset plate brought with lip-inward channel profile, channel will be brought to the web of T-section profile of top and bottom core again. The steel truss members are completely brought together with the gusset plate as a truss. Then the truss will be hosed and placed by the mobile crane to the top of the building. The steel column and the steel truss should do the connection to make it stronger. So the steel column will be brought with the cap plate, and the cap plate will be brought with two fixing plates. Then the purlin will be fabricated as C-shape section profile, which will be brought with rafter and spaced at some distance. The function of purlin is to fix the roof covering. The roof covering consists of roof sheeting, insulation, and lightning sheet. The roof sheeting is made of hot dip galvanized corrugated steel sheet because it can prevent the corrosion. There are some parts which is installing by the glazing. We are using the double glazing is to provide enough daylight from sunlight to the floor, but it will reduce the flow of incoming heat from the sunlight. The ledge of the roof should be installed by two pieces adjustable close-fitting ledge. Is to prevent the water coming into the building. The evaluation and analysis. The length or span of steel truss is more long than timber truss. The steel can be fabricated to exist standards such as T-section, C-shape, and I-shape. There is no risk of insect infestation because the insect cannot eat the steel. There are a lot more heat to escape easily, so the building will become cool. The steel can be rushed where it is cut and drilled and welded, and it's more lightweight and to be allowing larger shipment, so it will save the time of construction project. We are I will recommend the roofing of bus station will be constructed as Rotterdam Central Station. The station on a 250-meter long hand-formed roof, which is a part of the transfer hall and the traveler passages. The 228,000 meter square big room above the platform is fixed with 136,000 solar cells that constitute a special design. So this building also a green building because it is energy efficient. The pattern will become a beautiful art in the station when when direct sunlight is hitting the roof panel, a majestic screen of light and shadow is appear on the platform and track. 2, 3.
As for my part, for the key element will be the structural steel frame. Structural steel frame is the combination of the slab, column, and the beams which resist the load to overcome the deformations of the structures. It improves the construction's productivity due to their lightweight and the long span and less usage of the material and the cost. From the underground railway stations, the two side platforms are important because it provides strength to support the building. The two side platforms require wide space of platform for the prevention of the pedestrian congestions during the peak hour and when the train arrives. So, with the strong foundation and the structural support are needed for prevent the passenger. For structural frame of platform, I recommend using the column-based connections due to this holding down the supporting member with the foundations and resist with deformations of the structural. The column-based connections that I choose to be used is the gasket-based connections, which form the rigid point of the connections, provide extra strength for column, reduce the usage of the column, and resist bending moment and the shear created. The gasket base are suitable for using in the foundations of the underground due to it holding down the foundations with the supporting member, which is the column, with the connections by the bolting and the welding. This is a type of the gasket-based connections, which the connection required are the gasket plates, base plate, angle cleats, ground layer, and bolting and welding. The gasket plate will be attached to the side of the flange of the column, which attach also with the base plate, and the angle cleats will be bolting to the base plate. As the ground layer will be injected to the gap between the foundations and the column to prevent any air and water to be penetrate inside the foundations. For the bolting and the welding, as the picture shows, the bolting will be bolted to the base plate and the angle plates to holding down together with the foundations. As the welding will be using the fillet weld to provide extra strength to holding down the connections. As for the column to beam connections, it used the precast concrete beam with anchor plates as the base plate connections. The anchor plates will be welded to the end of the column to connect together to the precast concrete beam. The functions will be lead to the fast installations and save cost with the sufficient internal spaces and clear visible of traffic. It also supports the superstructure of the building and transport load from upper to lower part. As for the slab-based connections, The bottom column will be connected by the fillet well, and the upper column will connect with the connection bars. The installations of composite metal decking will provide the extra bonding for the column and for the slab and the beam. It allows the strength bond between the concrete and decking and nail-like fastener and shear connector. For the discard beam will be installed at the first floor of the beam, which the middle of the beam will cut into the hexagon shapes, with the fillet well with spacer plate and cork plates will be welded at the end of the column. The wet clip will connect both of the beams to provide a long span of the connections. For the bus terminal, I will be using the ball box connections to resist the wind loads and the changes of weather due to the bus station is exposed to the external environment, where it also provides sufficient strength and the bracing will support the roof covering. As for the analysis and the evaluations, I will compare with the steel and the concrete. The differences between the material of the steel and the concrete, which the steel will lead to the low cost, which reduce the building cost of 2 to 3%, while the concrete will lead to high cost due to the complexity of the construction process. Well, for the construction speed, the steel will improve the speed of erection due to the material delivered from the offsite to the onsite, where the costs are predicted. Where the concrete are prepared from on-site and waste the material during the process. And for the flexibility, the steel requires design freedom and can be recycled for use for the reinforcement bar or any other steel structure. And for the concrete is done and followed by the mold, which is the formwork, and cannot be recycled. The durability of the steel will melt when meet the high temperature, although it will increase its strength during the fire happen. And for the concrete, it withstands the high temperature whenever the fire happens, so it can withstand a quite long period. And for the connections, the steel requires molding and the welding to increase the strength of the connections. As for the recommendation for the steel structural frame, I will compare with the design concepts on the King Cross stations, which is located at London. These stations, with the concept of spanning of the structural frame and enlarge the concourse area of the railway stations, with the reductions of the concrete usage, by mostly using the beam for the long span. And it will overcome the passenger traffic because the column will not blockage the visible of the passenger. And it also provides spacious internal spacings to see clearly the direction to go. And it also reduces the construction cost and the wastage of the material due to the less usage of the column or any other steel structure needed, because the structure can be using the beam and the beam can connect with other beam with the molding and the welding. And with the proper usage of the steel forming compound sections and improve the pedestrian pathway, you can see that from this picture we can show the beam is connected from the above with the different shapes, because the steel can be deformed in different shapes and the size, followed by the requirement and the design of the beam.
I'm going to talk about the railway. The railway will be located on underground of the bus station. The rail vehicles are directionally led by the rail, but some of the place is not suitable of using the railway line. For example, the railway cannot be installed easily in the hill. The function of the railway is less of affected by weather conditions such as rain, fog, compared to the road transport. It also has a fixed way and schedule because the service of railway transport is more certain, regular on the schedule. And the speed of the railway transport over long distance is higher than the road transport because on the railway there is not any obstruction to block the rail transport. Also that railway is the safest form of way. The chance of railway the chance of accident will not be more than the road transport. And the railway is a business of public welfare. This is to helping the poor. There are three processes of the constructing the underground railway. There are dry frame wall, tunnel boring machine, and the design of railway. Dry frame wall is to retain soil during the construction of underground structure and to prevent the groundwater coming into the excavation. Also help to control the movement of the ground during the construction. It is a permanent, so after the excavation, the driving wall also still active. The tunnel boring machine, it can be described as a huge mechanical earthworm, which it and then push forward to excavate tunnel with a circular cross section. The tunnel are being lined with the waterproof concrete segment to guarantee long-term life and reduce the groundwater coming in, which can be keep water away from the excavation. There are three layers of constructing the railway. There are subgrade, sub-ballast, and ballast. There are three components on the ballast. There is a sweeper and clustering and rail. The subgrade, which is laid on the subsoil or natural ground to constitute the foundation of the railway track structure. It is to support the sub-ballast and the ballast, and it must be able to support the train structure above it and keep stable under the traffic load. Sub-ballast is a lag on between the ballast and the subgrade to help to decrease the stretches to subgrade. It also acts as a separator between the subgrade and ballast. Ballast, also known as the crushed stone, which is laid on the sub-ballast and act as a foundation of railway track and located below the sweeper. The rope from the tail of tread finally transfer to the ballast through wheel and slipper is to provide strong and level bed for the slipper to rest on. Also to allow for keeping correct tread level without disturbing the railway bed. Slipper is which is the leg transfers to the wheel. The slipper is made of concrete slipper to withstand high level of dynamic load. Fastening is employed to fix wheel to the slipper, and the wheel fastening system is pre-assembled on concrete slipper before the slipper are sent to the wheel site. It is reduce the risk of losing the component or delivering to the work site in incorrect quantities. Wheel is a member of tread led in two parallel lines to offer on our continuous and lead surface for the movement. It is made of cast iron or wrought iron. It will transfer the vertical load to slipper and decrease the pressure on the ballast and subway level. Evaluation and analysis. The railway will settle the problem of accommodation difficult in the urban city, because the urban city has not extra space for the construction of on the ground. Also facilitate the residents who are live in the outskirts around the urban king. Then they can use the underground railway to travel to the work in the urban city. Also to remove the overcrowding in the urban city. And most of number house which is destroyed and the people are displaced to another place because the construction of underground railway will be carried on the underground the house. And also the underground railway is no good ventilation system. It will cause many huge problem of the people and also the population in air of underground and suffocation in the compartment. I will recommend the underground railway will be replaced on the sea railway. We can refer to the pump which is a railway based on the Paul Street. The bridge will refer to both the road bridge and the Cantilever railway bridge, and it can solve the problem of insufficient space because it is using the space of the sea to construct the railway, so it doesn't affect the ground. It also has a good natural ventilation system because it's like an open air, and it will not appear the population and health problem.
My name is Yong Yi. I would like to talk about the pedestrian bridge. the main purpose of pedestrian bridge is used to cross the roadways, and is normally located at near to the bus station, and it provides high degree of secure and safety space to cross the roadway for the pedestrians. For the case study, I choose the bus terminal at Nilai Town Center. The bridge type will be built is the steel truss bridge. So the steel truss bridge is rigid structure of elements that transfer load from one point to another point. And secondly, it provides efficiency and sustainable solution where it can be recycled when it comes to the end of usage. And the third one normally is prefabricate or precast on the workshop or the factory to set the construction period and fast, and make the installation on site become faster. Yeah. And furthermore, it saves manpower. The last but not least is reduce the need of weight from the structural member, which provide efficiency, quality control to the functionality of bridge. So comes to precaution. The precaution to build up the pedestrian bridge is the road traffic for the vehicle. The second one is the layout of pedestrian ways and layout of the relevant area for the Nilai Town Center. And the last but not least, the third one, proper connection of structural members need to be carried out. And the last but not least, can the components of the bridge So the analysis and evaluations. The steel pedestrian bridge decking is prefabricated by the factory and is quite complicated construction process where needs longer period of construction time compared to the concrete bridge. Yeah. And the third one is proper type material used to build bridge decking. It is quite comfortable working pathway for people that crossing over and reduce the weight carried by the piles. And the last but not least, it's absorbing the vibration that create when large vehicle pass through the bottom of the pedestrian bridge. So the recommendation of the bridge is in measures. It is the bridge in Zapala. So we can see that it's built up with the wood and the steel. And new building and the town are built on small hills on different sides of the roads. In its crossing point, the line is elevated and curved, embracing and visibility of pedestrians. And furthermore, it serves to transmit water pipes and electricity from one side to another. And last but not least, it should match with aesthetic appearance to make people willing to use it. Thank you.
My name is Chuyomi. I will explain for the part for green technology for this railway station project. So the definition for green technology is it is eco-friendly and saving resources and energy around the earth. And this technology will emphasize on improved health quality, save costs, and then strengthen the natural system. The advantages for green technology is it can decrease the energy consumption. And then, as the fossil fuel amount decrease, the global climate will change. This means that the surrounding surface, the surrounding environment will become hotter. Okay, this also can reduce the waste production. As when we use the sustainable material, the waste production will also decrease. After that, we also can conserve the water by using rain harvest system. We can use the rainwater, which is clean, no need to do any treatment, any process. Then we can use the water as for planting and for wash our hand, then use for flushing toilet and so on. And then it also can produce an economic benefits. It's got the low maintenance cost and low operating cost. As you know that sustainable material is stand for the low usage of energy. For example, if we use the concrete, we need to do many works. First, we need to mix the cement, sand and aggregate and then pour into a mold and then wait for hardening. After that, we will send the concrete to the site, which will use the petrol. Then this will need a lot of work. So if we use the green technology, we can decrease the operating cost. And we also can create a healthy environment to improve the employee productivity. When we create a healthy indoor and outdoor environment, we will ensure that the employee will healthy always and then less disease. Then this can make sure the employee work efficiency and then increase the productivity. So, other than that, this also allowed to claim tax credits from governments. As an example, the San Francisco and Oakland will give assist on rebate and low interest loan to the green building. So they will provide 30% of rebate for the building which install the solar panel and solar heater, and also 10% for efficient window, door and insulation. Other than that, green technology also provides social benefits. It creates a healthier lifestyle. For example, adequate ventilated air, thermal comfort and lighting. When we talk about adequate ventilated air, we can make sure the position of window and door is at the correct position, and then make sure got the atrium view in the building. Then this allow the hot air inside the building can flow out easily. Then the fresh air can enter the building easily. Then the process repeated. And then for this also related to the thermal comfort, we can install the chill beam, which can reduce the energy usage. And then the lighting, we can plant the trees surrounding, then provide a shade for the building. This is the Green Building Index, GBI. Actually, it is a rating system for every construction building. It is rated based on energy efficiency, indoor environment quality, sustainable site planning and management, material and resources, water efficiency, and innovation. The rated score will decide on GPI rating. From here we can see that 86 point is the highest point, which will get the platinum grade. And then the lowest is 50 to 65 points. We'll get the certified class. So for example, our local project, the San Dabi House, greenhouse, is one of the example for the green building which get the highest rate, the platinum class. And then we are recommended to use solar panel for our project. So what is solar panel? It is installed on the rooftop, use the photovoltaic effect and convert the sunlight to DC and then convert to AC by using inverter unit. The excess energy can sell to TNB and then rebate the money, or it can use during night time. It should locate at a correct position facing to north side, which directly at sun to avoid the panel blocked by trees or any other object. So if we use the solar panel, we can decrease the energy usage and then reduce the carbon dioxide emission. So I will take these two types of solar panel as a comparison. Then this is the monocrystalline solar panel, and then this is the polycrystalline solar panel. In this project, I recommended to use monocrystalline solar panel. Why? From here we can see that it has the high efficiency rate. Then compared to polycrystalline, it has low efficiency. Why? Because this got the 15 to 20% of higher efficient, and then because it was used the high grade of silicon. And then the next one is save a lot of space on roof. Although it has smaller size, but it's got the high power output. And then it is durable compared to polycrystalline panel. It can last at least 25 years as a research from internet. Then the last one, this is same rate at low light condition. Actually, this is suitable for the temperature which is warm condition. So although the sunlight is not strong, it also can capture enough energy and provide to the building. So compared to polycrystalline, it is not efficient at low light condition. Of course, the monocrystalline also got the disadvantage. For example, this is more expensive and then it will break down when covered by snow, dirt and shade. It also increases the manufacturer waste. From here we can see that the edges of the solar cell is being cut. This creates the waste. And then this, for the polycrystalline solar panel, the 4H is remain the same because it is not being cut. So as a comparison, the waste for the monocrystalline is more compared to polycrystalline. And then it is more suited with warm temperature. When the temperature increase, the small monocrystalline solar panel the efficiency will be decreased. So another recommendation for the building, for the railway station, I will recommend the chill beam. Tubing is a cooling device which has separation between dehumidification and ventilation. It is located at the ceiling level and then provide the cooling air from under the floor. And then it eliminates the excessive fan energy and reliance on reheat process. This from here we can see that decrease the energy usage. So it's a good choice for green building. When warm air less dense will rise up and then flow outside the building, and then the air cooled by the tubing which has higher dense will fall back to the floor. There are different types of tubing. The first one is active tubing, and then passive tubing, and then multiple tubing. For the railway station, we are recommended to use the active tubing. From here, we can see that active tubing is suitable for the area which requires sensible cooling, heating, and ventilated air. It's suited for private and also public building. And the third one is easy to maintain, and no need extra cost, extra labor to do the maintenance cost, to do the maintenance work and then reduce the maintenance cost. Otherwise, we also save space. Save space as it don't need any large machinery or mechanical room, as well as the large ducting. It, as we said that before, because it's only relies on the reheat the cool air. So the disadvantage for the active tubing is only this is more higher cost, and then we must make sure the surface cannot get too cold. If it was too cold, condensation might happen. So as a comparison, the advantage is more than the disadvantage. So we are recommended to use this type of tubing. Other than mechanical ventilation, we can also use the natural ventilation, like create an atrium wheel in the building and bring in the fresh air and remove hot air. So from here we can see that the hot air which has less dense will increase, then pass through the atrium, going outside the building. So now the inside the building is low pressure. Then outside the air at the outside building will force into the building. Then the process will be repeated. So for the facade design, we self-shaded to resist heat, and then the window built at the correct position at north and south position. This can create a good natural ventilation in the building. Facade design is a upside down triangle shape of the building, which can create a self-shaded to the building and prevent the heat or the sunlight glare enter. And then we also can install with double glazing window and internal blind to reduce heat radiation. What is double glazing window? Actually, it is a combination of two glass pane and then into a single window system. It's also as known as glass unit, insulated glass unit IGU. It was separated by a spacer as well as a layer of gases. This type of gases actually is used argon gas seal. So from here we can see the advantage for the double glazing window. It was sound reduction. Due to the window, we got we got 2 pane of window, then it will be more thicker and create a base for sound reduction. For example, the train vibration, which will cause very noisy and disturb other people. And then the air gap, which function as an added layer of thermal insulation. As I said just now, the air will be the argon gas field inside. And then the desiccant will reduce the condensation, which cause formation of motes. The desiccant will put inside the spacer and then prevent the motes occur. For the recommendation part, I will choose several types of overseas and local project. For the first, it is the Blackfriars Railway Station. The project is highlighted with the solar panel on roof of railway. It can decrease 50% of energy usage and reduce the carbon dioxide emission. And then this is another one. It was in China, the Qinghai Tiber Railway. It's constructed by using environment-friendly method. It's related more on construction site management. For example, they are using the low VOC material and then protect habitat of flora and fauna. They also do the water conservation. For example, like water harvesting system. They use the rainwater to food bath or wash hand and the others. So for the next one, this is the local project, ZYO building. It's installed the cooling ducting on the floor slab. This is much more energy saving compared to other cooling system. And then the design got atrium design at near the upper part, and then got a proper window position. The facade design I also take from this building. From here we can see that the upside down triangle shape of the building. For my part, I will explain for the health and safety parts for the railway station project. Health and safety is a proper construction process to reduce the accident and risk. Then the worker have the right to stop their works when they notice that work is risky and affect their health and safety. Health and safety always related to safety, accident, hazard, and risk. What is accident? Accident is something happen that we cannot expect it, and then hazard is something condition not safe. Then we must avoid this and control this. Risk is a chance may happen or may not happen. It is the potential amount of loss. So the causes of accident, which will actually caused by nature of work, and then the human problem, which is lack of coordination, and then the environment surrounding. For example, the expose of toxic material to the surrounding at the site. Then this is the common risk which we will face at the construction site. For example, work at high level, aware to slippery, overhead moving heavy loads, sound pollution, easy to get the hand-arm vibration syndrome, collapse cases, harmful asbestos material, and then the electric works. This is the type of hazard during the construction process may face. First one is chemical. There are paint, oil, grease, all those material which will affect the human health problem or also cause fire. And then the second one is physical. The physical actually is the example is hit by the vehicle, falling down, and the load fall to head. And then the biological is actually related to the disease of the health for the workers. For example, the mosquito, and then what the worker eats and the drinks, and then the air surrounding, the air breath, the harmful material which affect to the surrounding will cause the air breath of workers. And then the last one is ergonomic, which is the posture of worker work, how they actually work. Actually, the workers always have a wrong way to practice, and then their kind of movement also will cause the hazard problem. So this is the solution. We can prevent the risk faced in the construction site. So the first one is preventive. The personal protective clothing and equipment, PPE. This can provide by the contractor and subcon to the workers from head to toes. For example, the helmet, the vest, and then the boots. Then the contractor, the company for the contractor can give the training. The manager can give the training to the workers, which show them how actually the equipment can use the safety way to use the equipment and tools. And then the company safety policy. So this is every company must have the policy which put in the site. And then preventive is the best solution compared to curative. Curative include the investigation accident. After the accident happened, the manager or the personnel must go to the site immediately for invest the accident. And then after estimate, the manager must do the reporting to the next preventive by the manager. So this is the regulation related to the site work. The first one is the concrete work. The professional engineer must certify formwork and racial, and then erection of formwork includes brace, shore, and other support must be supervising by designated person to inspect safety of formwork. The designated person shall keep all inspection record at site. He also shall inspect regularly when concrete being placed, as well as threshold shall be inspected at the same time. The secure access must available for inspection purpose. Other than concrete, we got the structural steel member which to use for the railway station building. The load cannot release from hoisting rope until structural members fastened in place safely. Then the tag lines should be used after structural steel member hoist to avoid uncontrolled movement. And then the scaffolding also must be used. And the alternative way, which wear safety belt. And then the shoes. The shoes provide exceeding 45 degrees together with horizontal, which provided for removal of material. It must be closed if we didn't use this. And then the danger sign must be near to the shoe to warn the workers at the side, which will ensure the safety purpose. And then the shoes must be clear at least one day, as the clear must be clear per day when the shoes is full. And then enough crank, safety belt, lifeline and other devices shall be provided under approval by Chief Inspector. So every construction site must got a runway for vehicle and a runway for the workers. Runways for vehicle width should be not less than 2.7 meter and together with timber curbs not less than 200 millimeter by 200 millimeter in parallel. And then the runway for workers shall not be less than 430 millimeter and not less than 25 millimeter thick planking. So both of them must have the railing for protection. And then this is the hand and power tools, which will always very familiar by the workers. It must maintain in a safe condition and shall be equipped with guard when they are designed to accommodate guards. It's exposed to harmful gases or dust. Equipment shall be protecting from the hazard to prevent the maintenance costs. We must ensure the equipment can be used many times. Okay, this is the real cases happened in Malaysia, which I get from the official website for the construction safety, health and safety regulation website. So most of the problem is the workers is die falling from height. From here we can see that the victim fell as he walking through the opening between the wooden boards, and he fell from 6th level to the 1st level. And then this will cause serious injuries to the body. Observation from the supervisor or manager, they come out the observation that say that lack of supervision from the employer, and then the floor is opening. So this is my part for health and safety. Thank you.
As the overall of this project, the railway triangle will increase the convenience, attractiveness and the comfortability of the passenger with provide pathway for the pedestrian access. For the green technology, it will reduce the usage of the energy, lead to the better cost of performance of the maintenance, and it will lead to the friendly environment with the usage of the sustainable material. And for the steel structural frames, it reduces the construction cost as the material doesn't need so many to perform the connections and the bond. And for the pedestrian bridge, with the high quality of the pedestrian bridge that construct will lead to secure and the safety for the user. Thank you.